Hello and welcome to the Positively Pebbles podcast, the companion to my Positively Pebbles newsletter, looking to put more positivity, more joy, and more good news out into the world. If everything's just happy, that's not real. Those are some of the lyrics by J-Hope from BTS on their new song called Normal. I opened Sunday's newsletter with it as we explored the idea of being too positive or toxic positivity. Since starting Positively Pebbles, I've always tried to balance keeping a positive attitude with acknowledging what are looked at as more quote-unquote negative feelings. And J-Hope is right. If everything's just happy, that's not real. I believe that happiness is something that we all hope for ourselves and the people we love. I think we all are hoping that the things we do, the choices we make, and the lives we live will lead to happiness. And many times it does. But what do we do when it doesn't? I think once we come to the realization that we can't be happy all the time, then it makes it easier for us to be more content with our lives as they are. I think the other part of the equation is how we define happiness. Yes, there are official definitions like Webster's, which calls it a state of well-being and contentment, joy, a pleasurable or satisfying experience. And maybe where we need to look next is how you get to that state. That's where I think we each need to think about the things, the choices, the experiences that give us contentment, pleasure, and joy. And I guess in this respect, I look at happiness as being similar to success. What success means to one person could mean something completely different to someone else. And this truly is an inside job because only we can decide the things that make us truly happy. We may think we know cars, huge home, lots of money, etc., and having those things is great. But there are a lot of people running around with all of those things who aren't truly happy. If I had to guess, I would say that the people who are the happiest are the ones who are grateful and appreciative of what they do have. We can always want, hope, and wish for more. But if we can be content and appreciative of what we have, we can be happy no matter what our circumstances. And I don't say this to diminish hard times or struggles, and I'm not saying to brush them off and just be grateful. But I think that when we do our best to be grateful for even the small things in our lives, it gives us a better chance to be truly happy more often. Today's good news comes from El Reno, Oklahoma, where Ashlyn made an unplanned stop at McDonald's with her 3-year-old son Hudson, affectionately known as Huddy. She said that once they were inside, Huddy noticed that there was an elderly man sitting by himself. He was both curious and concerned and asked Ashlyn where the man's kids were. She explained that they were probably grown and living their own lives. Well, that answer didn't sit right with him, and he walked over to the man and asked if he could join him. The man said yes, and he climbed up into the booth and sat down and had breakfast with the man like they had known each other for years. Ashlyn said it made her cry right in the middle of McDonald's, but it wasn't surprising to her because that's simply who Huddy is. She says since he was born, he always lit up the world, and she always says, live like Huddy, because he doesn't see people any different and just loves everyone. Ashlyn hopes the story encourages others to reach out, especially to older people who may be feeling alone. She says when you see an older person, more than likely their spouse has passed away or is in a nursing home. Take the time to say hi, smile, sit with them. They can tell you some great stories. And to make the story even more incredible, it turns out this wasn't just a random meeting. The family later discovered that the man lives only a few miles away and had been good friends with Huddy's late great-grandfather. Thank you so much for joining me for the Positively Pebbles podcast. Be sure to join me on Sunday mornings with my Positively Pebbles newsletter, the uplifting way to get your week started. Details on how to subscribe in the show notes. Until next time, be kind and be happy, whatever that looks like to you.